Archaeological trench number 5. As you can see, we have a rectangular area that we uncovered. On this trench, it is even more obvious how they made those blocks. The construction material of stones, white and blue and gray and brown, and this brownish material in between was a liquid clay at one time. When it got solid and dry, it has become the best binder. It is so strong and so solid. When the block breaks due to the tectonic movements of earthquakes, you see sometimes the stone breaks, not binding material. When they made this binder, they were adding the additives which would enhance the quality. For example, in Mexico, they were adding the shells, calcium carbonate. In Egypt, the eggshell. And here, they were adding the granite dust. There is a granite quarry 7 kilometers from here. They're very smart. We have lost those formulas over the time. Look how they built this section. It's different than the one over there. They made the concrete block here, horizontally. Then they made the other one. And they went a little bit under the first one. They made the third one, and they went under the second one. They made the fourth one. They went under the third one. So they have series of steps, small steps. Why were they doing this way? Because of the structural stability. When you go a little bit under, it won't collapse over the block. We can see a lot of trees here, pine trees. They were planted by the government in the 1960s and 1970s. This particular tree, as we can see, is very high, probably about 35 meters. Now, these trees, they have the properties that as high as they are above the ground, they are so deep below the ground. If they are planted or if they grow above the natural stone, they have ability to release some type of the acid through the roots, and the acid melts the stone, and then the root goes very deep, 20 meters, 25, 30 meters. Now, let's see what we have here. To my left, by this ultra-modern camera, this is a place where you used to have a tree like this. Look at the main root here. Instead of going down vertically, it went to the right, parallel to the surface. Why? Because it could not penetrate this cemented concrete. It was simply so much harder than the natural stone. The previous shift, what they did, they were working on this trench, and some of you will be also. You see the lighter area where the cameraman from Macedonia is, the light brown. So they were cleaning this area, and they were cleaning that area. All this is new. So we are exposing more concrete. This is all new from this region. This is new. This is new. And this is probably they were hungry because we have bad food in this hotel. So let's move on a little bit. Sad ćemo ovdje pričati, neće napred više. Dođite vam. Ovo je tako da ja mogu pokazati. Okay, this is the continuation of our Sonda number 5. We have approximately 5 meters wide and about 50 meters in length. And also, we got the continuation of the concrete blocks, extremely hard. The thickness of this block here is 75 centimeters. And we have 2 layers, 75, 75, approximately 1.5 meters. The blocks over there, they are 40 to 45 centimeters, 4 of them, also close to 150, 160. Below 2 layers of blocks is a layer of clay. Clay was used for different purposes. The binding material is one, but also clay is waterproof. Also, clay is excellent thermal insulation. And finally, clay gives the flexibility to the structure. The structure does not collapse. In a case of earthquakes, it breathes. Below the clay is a layer of sandstone blocks. They are like light brown blocks, 40 centimeters. And they are all laid out at the same angle, from the bottom of the pyramid to the top. The place where this gentleman from Slovenia is standing now is a place where we can see that there is a smooth cover on the top of these concrete blocks. Now, below that cover, which is approximately 10 centimeters in thickness, we can see rougher concrete blocks with the bigger stones. The bigger stones are there also. Why bigger stones are on the surface? When we today make a concrete, when we mix it, and then when we pour it, first the smaller pieces, they go out, and the bigger pieces are on the bottom of the mixer, and they come last. So the same methodology is present here. But also what we do today, once we are through with our concrete foundations, walls, then we make very thin and smooth layer. The same thing here. The same thing on the Giza Plateau, the second pyramid, the Khafre pyramid or Khafre pyramid. Close to the top has those nice smooth blocks. Below are rougher. Why? Again, thermal insulation. During the sunny days, the sun rays would reflect tens of kilometers around. So now imagine 5, 7, maybe more pyramids here. Huge structures, all covered by this smooth layer. Sunny days, we got sun rays 20, 30 kilometers around. The whole valley was paved in sandstone plates. Probably magnificent view. Today, not so much of that beautiful view, because the pyramids are covered in vegetation, but hopefully we can continue opening section by section. And finally, once we establish the fact that we have the structures, artificial constructions, we had to move on. Instead of wasting our time proving everything and trying to convince everyone on the planet that we have pyramids in Bosnia, we decided to move on and figure out the purpose of the pyramids. For that answer, we could not use archaeologists, Egyptologists, historians, geologists, classical sciences. We could not use construction engineers or architects because they already said what they knew. We needed experts in energy phenomena, like physicists, electrical engineers. In 2010, the first team, the physicists, came from Croatia, Dr. Mizra, and they were measuring the frequencies in the range of hertz, kilohertz, gigahertz, megahertz. And they were checking surrounding hills and the pyramid. They could not find any anomaly until they came to the very top. On the top of the pyramid, in the radius of 4.5 meters, they detected and measured electromagnetic field going up with a frequency of 28 kilohertz. Now this frequency does not come randomly in the nature. You need a machine to generate this frequency, meaning the pyramid is not only the structure, but the machine also. And then we had a team from Italy, led by Dr. Paolo De Bertolis from the University of Trieste, who measured another phenomenon, the ultrasound. What we measured on the top, in a radius of 10 meters, was the ultrasound, the vibration, of frequency of 28 to 33 kilohertz. We cannot hear that, but it does exist. And that's a frequency very beneficial to the human health. And then we measure the infrasound. Again, we can hear from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. Everything above 20 kilohertz, ultrasound. Everything below 20 Hz, infrasound. Everything vibrates in the nature. Our planet vibrates. It vibrates at frequency of 6 Hz. And the pyramid vibrates at a frequency of 7 Hz. Everything is different. It's artificial structure. How many more energy phenomena from this pyramid? We don't know. We probably don't even develop and invented scientific instruments to measure all of them. So we are in the presence of extremely complex structure machine. In April of this year, we had 4 teams combined from Croatia, Italy, Serbia and Finland, who came on the top of the Sun Pyramid. What we were doing, we were emitting, using our generator, electromagnetic field to the pyramid. So, if you have one machine emitting the waves, if you have another one, the pyramid, receiving those waves, then you can project the strength of the signal that you're going to get back. So, our physicists made a projection. The preliminary results we got back were showing that the strength of the signal is 3 times stronger. They could not explain that. It seems that the pyramid acts on her own. She decides how she's going to respond. So it seems that not only that we have a machine, but we have an intelligent machine. And finally, everything in nature is the energy. We are energy balls, the planet is energy, the pyramid is an energy. But this is very powerful and very old energy on its own. The more we open ourselves, the more information we're going to get from her. There is always communication between the energy. We close ourselves, we won't get any information. Some of the scientists, the skeptics, when we present them the scientific arguments, geometry, orientation, concrete, hardness, tunnels, they don't want to hear. They stay closed-minded because their whole world is collapsing. People who are more open, wide open, they are receiving more information. So while your work next 2 weeks in the tunnels, on the sun, on the dragon, open yourself and you'll be getting an information. The place where this young fellow in the green shirt, you see that he is digging over there, is what we call the healing stone. It's on the top of the Sonda number 5. 6 years ago we had a visit of the medical doctor from Malaysia. He was a doctor to the 3 prime ministers of Malaysia, including Mahathir Mohamad, but also he knows the energies and spiritual world. The moment he came in that area, he felt something, he said, this is a healing stone. People have problems with their health, and then come here for 10-15 minutes, they receive the energies, they're going to get improvement. Now, it's the year 2006-2007. I was already having too much trouble with cultural establishment, proving that this is material, physical fact. So that was the last thing in my mind to start promoting the spiritual or health benefits of pyramids. So I never mentioned that. However, people who were with me, they were talking to their friends and they started bringing them. And it seems that it does have certain beneficial effects. The same like the tunnels. So before we go and have a lunch, if you agree, Let's go and see that area for another 10 minutes. Let's sit
Yep.
over there, we'll relax a little bit, and then it will be the end of today's tour.